Welcome back everyone that joined us for part 1 of Secret Codes, where we talked about the Caesar and Polybius Square ciphers. For those of you that are new, we hope you go back and watch part 1 first, because we're going to build upon the skills we learned there. Also, we're going to begin with answering the bonus messages from the end of part 1. The first Caesar cipher answer was, careful what you share about yourself online. Now, if you were having problems solving the second one, you're not alone. There was actually a mistake in it on purpose, and the reason being is it's okay to make a mistake when sending a message. The person receiving the message will likely know what you mean. So in our first word, the F and the V actually should translate to an I and an F. However, we sent a V, which is a Y. The Polybius Square answers were, do not talk to strangers online, and use a screen name instead of your real name online. As with our last video, we're going to need the same supplies: a notebook or some paper, a pencil with an eraser, and a highlighter. Again, you can substitute a pen for the highlighter because it's only going to be used to write out our keys. Now, before we begin the Four Square Cipher, it's a lot more complex and challenging, so if you don't get it on the first try, or you miss something, don't worry. Just back up a few seconds and play it again. So let's begin. Amber and Sam decided to try a new cipher called the Four Square Cipher, since Rod and Randy was able to figure out what they were saying. As with our previous ciphers in our first video, Sam and Amber needed to determine a key that they'll both know. In our case, Sam and Amber know each other's favorite snacks, so these are going to be our keys to encode the message. Amber's favorite snack is goldfish, and Sam's favorite snack is Pringles. Remember to use a key that doesn't contain any duplicate letters. For instance, pretzels contains 2 E's, so that wouldn't be a good choice for our key. So now the challenging part. How do we draw a four square cipher? First, let's start by drawing a very big plus sign with one horizontal line and one vertical line. This makes 4 squares, hence the name of our cipher, Four Square. Now we need to draw a 5x5 square in each of the 4 corners. In the top left corner and the bottom right corner, we need to write out the plain old alphabet. Again, just like in our previous cipher from part 1, we're going to have I and J share a space. Once we're finished, let's start with Amber's key, her favorite snack of goldfish, and begin to write this out starting on the first line of our 5x5 square in the upper right hand corner. Now that we have our key written in our square, we need to continue writing out the remaining letters of the alphabet in order. However, if we already used a letter in our key, we need to skip over it and go to the next letter. For instance, we go from C to E because there's already a D in our key. Now we need to write out Sam's key, her favorite snack of Pringles, in the lower left corner. Remember, since our key is longer than the top row allows, we just continue the word on the second row until we're finished. Again, we need to write out the remaining letters in the alphabet in order and skip any that we used in Sam's key. For instance, we go from D to F because there's already an E in our key. We're now finished with our 4 square and ready to encode a message. In our 4 square, we're going to encode 2 letters in pairs. So if we wanted to send the letters B and I, we would first locate the B in the upper left-hand corner and the I in the lower right-hand corner. Our next step is to find where these intersect, in the top right first and in the bottom left second. So if we wanted to send the letters B and I, we would actually be sending D and E. This is our ciphertext value. Another example, if we wanted to send the word bird, we would write D-E-T-R. Now you might be wondering, what if our message contains an odd number of letters? If so, we just place an X at the end of our plain text to make it an even amount. The recipient of the message will see the X at the end and know it's not part of the original message. For instance, if we wanted to send the word Big Bird, we would write Big Bird X because we need to put an X at the end, which would be D-E-S-R-S-T-L-Y. Now would be a good time to grab a piece of paper and hit the pause button to create Amber and Sam's cipher. Remember to use a highlighter to highlight your keys to make it easier for you to complete the remaining alphabet letters. When you're done, hit the resume button. Now that we know how to encode a message, let's look at decoding a message. What message did Amber send to Sam? Now would be a good time to grab a piece of paper to write down the encoded message. hit the pause button and take a few minutes to figure out what Amber sent to Sam. Once you're finished, hit the resume button. Were you able to decode the message? We hope so. If not, here's an extra hint before you hit the pause button again. Remember, to decode, we simply do the reverse. Find the X in the top right and the E in the bottom left, and see where they intersect. It should reveal a W and an H. Once you're finished, hit the resume button. Now, let's try to decode what Sam sent to Amber. Using the same piece of paper, write down the encoded message. Hit the pause button to take a few minutes to figure out what Sam sent to Amber. Once you're finished, hit the resume button. Were you able to decode the message? We hope so. If not, again, here's an extra hint before you hit the pause button again. Remember, decoding, we simply do the reverse. Find the C in the top right and the R in the bottom left, and see where they intersect. It should reveal an M and an A. Once you're finished, hit the resume button. Now, let's take a look at our Foursquare answers. The encoded message Amber sent to Sam was a question. What does malware mean? Did you notice the message contained an odd number of letters, so we had to put an X at the end of our plain text? The encoded message Sam sent to Amber was the answer to her question. Malicious software that is harmful. Now that you know how to encode, test your skills on some bonus messages after you're done with the video today. Here we have two encoded messages with a Four Square Cipher. Grab a piece of paper and hit the pause button to write down the encoded message along with the keys for each message. When you're done, hit the resume button. To check your answers, you're going to need to watch our next video, part 3 of Secret Codes, where we'll be talking about how to break the secret message written with a Caesar cipher. We hope you enjoyed learning about secret messages and ciphers today. Let us know how we did with a like or dislike, and don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Practice what you've learned today and try to send an encoded message to a friend who also watched the video. Remember, you'll need to establish keys and what cipher to use in order to communicate. If there's something you would like to learn, post it in our discussion tab. Thank you for watching and see you next time on our 4 Kids series.